A dramatic turnaround from the Obama administration on reversing its decision to allow a major expansion of offshore drilling. In the wake of the BP oil disaster, there will now be no new offshore drilling in the eastern Gulf or Mexico or the Atlantic coast until at least 2017. Joining us now is Florida Senator Bill Nelson, who has been briefed by the Interior Secretary on all of this. Senator, I presume that you are in favor of it, given your reactions after the oil spill.
Well, you certainly wouldn't expect anything less after the disaster that we saw in the Gulf.
But at the same time, there are those who are fiercely opposed. You've got plenty of people, some of your fellow governors, who think that this is very short-sighted.
Well, they don't understand, and they don't come from a place like Florida, where so much of our lifeblood is in having pristine beaches for all of our tourists, as well as our delicate estuaries where all the critters from the sea come in and spawn. And then, of course, there's all the Gulf of Mexico off of Florida is the largest testing and training area for the U.S. military in the world. And so what the Secretary announced is his 5-year plan. That is their plan. The Gulf of Mexico off of Florida is off limits. It's in statute. You can't drill out there. So the Secretary's plan is just that, his plan.
You've got someone like Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell calling the new policy an irresponsible and short-sighted decision. The cost of today's decision will be seen in major lost job opportunities, surrendered economic growth, and increased dependence on foreign sources of energy from nations often hostile to American interests. Senator Warner, even a fellow Democrat, Senator Mark Warner from Virginia, saying that he sees no reason to delay the process for what realistically could be another 7 years or more.
Well, those are red herrings. If there were oil out there, let's say off the Atlantic, it would be 10 years before they could bring it into production. That's not doing anything for the energy problem now. What we need to do is to go to alternative energy sources other than petroleum. Now, interestingly, all the pressure to drill out in the sea for natural gas, you know, we now have the discoveries of natural gas onshore from Louisiana to New York, and it is the equivalent of reserves of natural gas like the reserves of oil in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of the facts are changing, and the equations are changing, Andrea.
And Senator, what would you say to Marco Rubio, your new colleague in the Senate? Because he obviously disagrees with this and says that the White House is playing politics.
Well, I've had 2 conversations with him. He clearly knows my situation about drilling off of Florida, and we have it in statute, and there's just simply not going to be any drilling as long as I'm senator off of Florida because of our economy and because of our military preparedness for national defense.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Bill Nelson.